Aloha, my beautiful friends on the other side of the screen. My name is Krista Rolakshmi-Detton, coming to you from beautiful sunny Texas today. And I am a WILDFIT coach and a holistic coach. I've been a holistic coach over 20 years and WILDFIT coach a little over a year. And I really, really enjoyed the process, coaching people towards their dreams and, possibilities, how they can express more of their gifts and treasures they have inside. And today I wanted to do this little presentation and gathering so that you would get a little more of my story, how I have got into the deep dive with health issues and so on. And also what are those 3 steps you could focus on first and foremost to get your journey going. And then also some frequently asked questions, which many of the times happen. So stay along and, if you have some extra questions after you have watched this, please don't hesitate to ask. I'll put the email underneath this video as well. You can reach me out on Facebook Messenger. So my health journey has been actually in cycles. Like in general, I was born very healthy, like everything is functioning, no big traumas, and so on. I've had, of course, a lot of emotional traumas and dramas, but physically it's pretty good. Everything's functioning. And I'm so grateful that my body is like that, The biggest and first big awakening was actually in 2008. I was on the floor of my beautiful apartment. I at the time was renting in a central Tallinn, overlooking the central city and the sea nearby. And I had such pain in my abdomen that I felt like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. It was even worse than the pain which, women, if you give birth, you experience. So I really was thinking strongly, firstly, okay, so did I eat today? And then I realized I hadn't eaten. It was 6 or 7 p.m. already. And then it's okay, let me order some food home. So that's what I did. But the pain didn't disappear after I ate. So I was okay, so that's obviously not that, So I started to sit down and meditate and really communicating with my body and asking can you tell me what's going on? And then my body was saying, I was at the time also detoxing from one of the pregnancy prevention pills I had. It was actually something to put into your arm, and it had been in my arm for over 6 years, and I had just taken it out, and it was pretty interesting journey to detoxify my whole body from it. And I think that was one of the first layers. It was actually detoxing it, So it was really interesting because my energy and my body was saying, hey, you have been such a man and you haven't really taken good care of yourself. You just worked. You haven't had social time. You hadn't been eating right. You didn't sleep right. My first client came 6 a.m. Left midnight or 2 a.m. So very little sleep, no training, no social life, no family time. This is not life. This is not why you are here. You are here to work, but you are also here to enjoy. And I, as a woman grown and raised in Estonia by my strong, stubborn, and beautiful grandmother, couldn't understand there is anything else than job. You can also have fun. Are you kidding me? And then I understood, yes, it was right. I really had it to change many of the things in my lifestyle. So that's what I started to do. So I figured out, wow, even if I don't have time to cook right away, I can order food in, or I can go to the closest by, restaurants or places to eat, which I had plenty of. And then also just, maybe 15 steps from my house was a gym. It's okay, I have no excuse not to go there. my family and friends had not really seen me or had any fun with me for quite a while. So I put that into the calendar, and I took 6 hours of sleep as my maximum minimum to start with. And I even started to date again. So that was a first like deeper turning point. The next one was 2011, when I actually was going through an abortion. And after that, I got some really major complications, and I'm really glad I got it figured out and went to the hospital on like right time, because if I hadn't, I wouldn't be here sharing the story with you. So that was pretty critical. Only 1 week after, my dad died of lung and liver cancer. And as an alcoholic and smoker, I totally understand how that happened, right? But still, he was pretty young. So I understood also like, okay, I have to be even more careful and see like, you know, what health choices can I do better? I had quit drinking alcohol 22 as a 22-year-old because I saw how much trouble it had caused my mom and dad and how unhappy they were all of their lives. And I didn't want to have that. So I consciously, you know, didn't choose that. But also if you are an alcoholic family member, then what happens is that disease actually can be inherited with behavioral patterns and other ways and emotionally. And that's what had happened. So when I quit like drinking, then I suddenly wanted to eat more sweets, or I wanted to do something else, which was actually self-destructive. So that's how it works, you know, and I didn't know it at that time. 2015, there was a man who actually was threatening to kill me. That was another awakening call, which actually brought me to Al-Anon, which is for the members and family members of alcoholics or substance misuse people. And I went there and started to really dig deep into my, you know, life and work and so on. And I had some other really crazy, weird, like health stuff happening while I was in Mexico several times, and in ways like I couldn't even imagine is possible, you know. And I experienced some really, really weird stuff. And I was really scared a couple of times, like really like, oh my God, I can't ever get out of this. So all in all, in 2017, I moved to United States, to Hawaii, from Mexico, and I had to go through my medical examination. And when we were doing that, my doctor was getting really worried, and she said, your blood sugar is getting pretty close to, you know, diabetes 2. And I was like, okay, so how is that possible? Like, I eat pretty healthy. I am pretty healthy, you know. And then we went through like, okay, so what's going on? What is it you are eating? And then came out that I ate, I drank those, fruit juices, which you buy from the shop, especially here in America. These are full of preservatives and also massive amounts of added sugar. So she said, if you could like cut that one out or squeeze it or do it yourself, that's much better. And I did that. So that was the first thing. And then I did many other changes. But the game changer for me was to enroll myself into a 6-week program where I was part of the group training 3 times a week, and also got the new menu. And that experience gave me the possibility to let go 6% of my body fat. And if you think like 6%, that's not too much, like that's probably like easy peasy. That's actually, I really had to push myself there really hardcore. So it's actually not that easy. So that way, I got the experience. Wow, if you want to create, real balance, you should create, beautiful, workout routine, and then also beautiful like menu and like what are you eating and how, routine. So that's what I try to keep going until the summer of 2019, when I was visiting Estonia. I visited another trainer and nutritionist. So we were checking where I was. I got some other tips and tools. And these were all nice, but they were actually over time, they were not very sustainable. So I was still looking for that like miracle something which would get me out of my serial dieting. That's how I call it, so which had been like over 20 years. So, and then Eric Meets was doing a beautiful quantum shift online course. And I did that. And then he was offering like, okay, we have a WILDFIT offer as well. If we get like this many people, we'll do it. So that happened. And I got to be in that group. I had massive changes happening. I let go quite a bit of, weight right away. And then I also gifted it to my husband, who then also joined. And by the second, and I also joined his challenge. So by the second challenge, I had already let go over 30 pounds of my weight. So around like 14 kilos, somewhere there. So, and finally I had got a toolbox with, sustainable things to follow. And after some time, I was like, wow, this is so powerful. As a holistic coach, I always have clients who are coming with overweight or, different things. So can I do something which would, which is possible to also help them? So what I did was I joined a WILDFIT coaches group and became a coach myself. Since July 2021, I coached basically nonstop. I went through 6 groups, 50 people with 100% success rate. So this means that basically every person who joined the group also finished the program, didn't quit. And that's a huge thing. So over the time of period of time, I have really done a lot of different online courses I've put together myself or with others. And it has been really, really amazing experience, because it has helped me to fine tune how to also pre-qualify those clients. So when I pre-qualify clients, I want to really see that, they are ready to fully commit 100%, because that's what I'm going to do. And then we can really enjoy the process and program both 100% together, So after this experience, I was like, wow, this is such an amazing journey. I can help others. And at the same time, I can also still keep myself on track. So this November 2022, I'm celebrating 2 years anniversary with my WILDFIT journey. And this summer, when I got coronavirus, I let go more weight, and I just finished a Colorado detox right now as well. And that also helped to release even more. So now, finally, it's been a really long journey. And also, even with the WILDFIT, still, pushing myself a little bit extra, I'm getting to this, what I call base weight, meaning that from this weight, I can go to different, different weights and stuff. And, when I'm eating seasonally, my weight is fluctuating, 2 or 3 kilos here and there, and that's totally normal. So that's, how you basically naturally also kind of function. People don't know it, and they freak out when they, once you start to eat sugary stuff, it starts to retain water in your body, and, your weight goes up instantly, So once you go back to fat burning mode, then you can, release that extra water. And then, of course, to keep yourself drinking good water all the time is one of the keys. So right now, that coronavirus gave me lots of ideas how to start to change my own life and my own priorities, because it really was pretty scary experience. I mean, I was very healthy at the moment when I got it. 1.5 years into this pandemic, I hadn't gotten it. I am not vaccinated, and I was really kind of surprised that it caught me. But the situation was also that I had conditions and circumstances which were really, supporting this to happen. So what happened was I was part of the Mind Valley University, the whole, 1,000 plus people in one of the same room, also using the toilet, right? So that meant like it's like impossible to prevent it. If someone has it, you know, everyone basically has it. And the second week, I think most of the people got it. So what I learned was how it caught me were three very essential things. And if other times I would have maybe given you 3 other steps to boost your health, right now I give you those steps because I think also we are still not over the pandemic. So coronavirus is still very real in Estonia. I have several of my friends still having it. So it's really good to, you know, make a note and then put these things into practice in your life as well. So the first thing what happened with me was I was there alone. Usually I go with my husband. He couldn't come, lots of projects here. Plus we had, at that moment, we had a cat project with 7 cats. We were basically trying to help a little cat mama, giving birth to babies and so on. So it was, you know, a little extra I had to like handle in Estonia. I'm a strong Estonian woman, you know, no big deal. But at one point it got a little too much. So I basically cut my sleep time to 3 or 4 hours for several weeks. And then what happens is that basically your immune system goes down. And when your immune system goes down, then of course, all the viruses, bacteria, which is not supposed to be there, can really easily and fast like move in, you know. So what happened was also that the first thing I did was like, okay, I'm gonna now actually, that's something I will also recommend you to do. If you have a possibility, just let your body sleep as many hours as it would like, and then see like, you know, where it would like to, you know, how many hours would your body like to sleep actually? And then as you see it, then you will see like, okay, it's actually 8 hours or 9 hours or 7 hours. So my body needed 8.5 hours after all this, like very little sleep. So I started to offer it. If I couldn't do 8, maximum minimum was 6, you know. What happens when you're sleeping, there are so many processes. Your organs need to like process some stuff, detoxify some stuff, reorganize some stuff. Your mental and cognitive, you know, organization is going on. And if you don't give that break, everything gets like kind of loaded and overloaded. So the first moment when I put my my mobile into the fridge, I started to understand that, okay, this is a little crazy, you know, I should do something about it. So, and then also when you are sleeping, just check if possible, maybe even use earplugs to really cut out all extra noise. And also I even use, you know, the mask on your eyes to also cut out all the extra light. And then also in a cool room as possible, as cool as possible. It's shown that it's a really good, you know, way to help your body to rest, you know. And then the second one was actually stress. My stress became so big that my hands started to shake. I cognitively couldn't like almost function anymore. I got really irritable and frustrated, and I didn't like myself anymore. It was really, really like, I didn't like it at all. So what started to happen was that, okay, I started to understand that, okay, this is something really going on here. I have to really see another thing, what you could do as a homework. What are your priorities and why are those things priorities? Do you need to really handle that many things, or can you just focus on one thing at a time? So what are those different things which you can, like, you know, reprioritize? How can you reduce your, you know, stress? Can you reorganize some things? Can you reschedule some things? Can you say no to some things? And I started to really take it seriously. I actually taken like a 2-month period to reevaluate everything in my life. And I'm getting pretty clear. The new path with new choices is getting very clear. So I'm really glad that this is about to get clarified. So stress, live without stress or with minimal stress, and have a toolbox what to do when you have stress. Then of course, all kinds of relaxation stuff will help you really much, like meditation or path or like different things, like figure out what it is for you and then offer it to yourself. So that's very, very important. Then the third thing was, I can put underneath this video a little link to my special breathing technique, Bastrika, which is from yoga, which I have now experimented for some time. And this has been my regular companion. And when I went to Estonia, I promised myself I'm not going to quit it, but somehow I got away from it and I didn't have the routine kind of locked in. And what it does is when you do it regularly, your body gets instantly alkaline, you get more oxygen, you get like to do many things, and you know, all of the things which create also like emotional, you know, stress and so on. All of these things are gone because you like basically you're like pushing all the toxins out of your body on a regular basis. I usually do 3 sets of 20, 3 times a day, usually prior my meals, like prior breakfast, prior lunch, and prior dinner. So when I'm traveling or moving, it may move, but I have the maximum minimum then, which I'll choose. And then if I can't do it somewhere outside, when I'm inside, and if I can just even open the window, that's a big thing. So it's really good to get the fresh air in. And many people don't realize that they actually don't breathe, you know, very consciously. So, and that's because that's the case, you know, the body doesn't get enough oxygen. And then when you don't get enough oxygen, there's lots of processes which get stuck and blocked and so on. So I remember last year when we were moving from San Diego to Texas, within that week, we were on the road for several days and it was pretty stressful. Prior to that, I had been doing the Bastrika breathing on a regular basis every day, daily for like 6 months. And then I just totally forgot it while we were traveling. And it was really hectic as well, totally understandable. And then we were here and our apartment wasn't ready yet. So we had to spend some extra days in a hotel. They had a nice pool. I was going to pool to swim. And suddenly I get this like crazy, like almost like a panic attack, you know. And I'm thinking like, oh my God, what's going on? Like, I've never really had this thing anymore. And I realized, wow, I forgot to breathe. So I started to bring it back slowly. And it's always a question, you know, where you live, can you do it outside? Here in Texas, during the summertime, it's very hot outside. The new apartment where we are, yes, you can open the window, but it's also then it's so hot and inside you are with AC all the time. Then I found one little area between 2 houses where I kind of tried to go away from people's windows. So I do it because it can be a little, you know, a little bit of noise, you know. So I really recommend you to check it out. And I guarantee if you put in more sleep, little stress or no stress at all, or consciously aware of that and have a toolbox handy, and also do start to do those breathing techniques, your life will become so much better. I usually also have like a 5-day challenge where we do like 5 steps. There are some more steps in that. But right now I chose these ones because this was my experience with the coronavirus. And I believe if those 3 things would have been in maximum capacity, that like no stress, enough sleep, and then also the breathing would have been, and maybe also another thing which played a role was as I'm doing the seasonal eating, what it means is that basically my body is going back into the alkaline state all the time. Because I was in Estonia, I was out of that alkaline stage quite a bit. So my body was probably also more acidic, which means also that it pushed the immune system even more down. So this is why it's really important to pay attention to those little, steps and things. And also it doesn't work if you don't put them into action, So this was a little bit of value. I hope it was a value for you. Now what I would like to do is a little introduction to the WILDFIT program. And of course, you can read about it so much online as well. But I'll just do this little screen share and you can just see my landing page, how this works. So basically, after the first challenge I did, I really felt that I became the best friend with myself and my body again. I would say even I fell in love with my body again. And it really resets your body, mind, and spirit, and through holistic nutrition and conscious choices and eating. So there are some really cool questions. What if your body can become your best friend? And then there is a little, you can actually also check out the masterclass we did the first time. And then also, beautiful African proverb, want to go fast, go alone, want to go far, go together. So usually this program is recommended to be done in a group coaching session setting for the whole 90 days. But if you feel like you would like to have more of my attention and presence, then you can do that. And then below, you will see also different options for that. So it will cost a little more money, but it's also totally worth it because then you get me 100%. So why not? And this works for everyone, vegan, gluten-free, omnivore, lactose-free, whatever. We can actually adjust the program according to where you are. Here are some real good questions. You can also dive deeper. I'll just say that this is actually not the dieting program. This is a lifestyle program. Yeah, and how it's different from other weight loss programs. What kind of non-scale victories can you expect, and why does WILDFIT program have this particular price? So this is the creator of the program, a Canadian businessman, Eric Admeets, who basically organized and started to do this program for his business groups because he was preparing them to go to Kilimanjaro, and he took them to Kilimanjaro 7 times. Can you imagine? And he then saw that, okay, there is a lot of interest. And nowadays, 500,000 people have done his masterclass with Mind Valley. And then he has also coaches now all over the world. So they estimate around 60,000 people have done the program with the coaches as well. So, and I, as your coach, I have a background in angel therapy, oral transformation, mind, body, and spirit reset techniques, as well developing my own mantra water modality, inner family, archetype coaching, abundance programs, abundance wheel. There are so many things I have in my toolbox. And if you join my program, I will share many of these. Here you see some testimonials of people. You can see also quite a big of difference in body composition and changes. And then also here are the payment and investment options. I don't show these right now because these will change with time. So if you see this video also later, I would recommend to go to this page actually later. And then you can find, I can also put this page for the video below, but it's a nice one where you get the most important information about the program. And then also for the September 2012 program, we have also the Facebook event where you have most of the stuff actually explain how it is, what it like brings with, and so on. So you can see how this looks, And I usually do 3 groups per year, usually beginning of the year, usually January, then March, and then one in the end of the year. So the end of the year date may change in the future because sometimes, you know, September can be a very hectic month for many people, and also hectic month financially with school and all kinds of other stuff starting again. So we'll see, maybe we'll adjust that starting date in the future. So so you have to like check the timing, how it is. So now I can just go through some of the commonly asked questions. And if you get some more questions, I'll put my email into the video as well. So you can check, you know, where and how and what, so you can, you know, ask me more questions. So one of the first questions very many people ask is, Crystal, is WILDFIT only for women? No, this is also for men. It's actually, I think men may even need it more. Just women naturally are interested to improve themselves and, you know, do it on a very holistic level, more than maybe most men would. Men usually start to look into those things that when they really have like major difficulties or major awakenings happening, you know, usually divorce or loss of a job or loss of a loved one or something like that, or a big move or whatever the case is. So so men are also welcome. I actually really welcome you. If you are a wife to a husband, I would recommend also to figure out like ways how to be smart about it, because in my husband's case, I actually gifted it to him with Christmas, you know, presents, and I had another coach coaching him. So it was really cool to support him. And he also, you know, beginning of the year is a really good time to start for them, because usually also by Christmas time, many people have overeaten, and then they feel guilty and they want to start and maybe even do New Year's resolutions, even though we know that those don't work. Statistics has actually proven it. But, you know, sometimes men may do those things. So you can be their support. I signed up as an accountability partner for my husband to help him to keep up with the green smoothies. So that was the case. So yeah, so women, men, yeah, usually 18-year-old or older. If you have kids joining, then kids should have supervision with an adult. That's recommended. So because it's a little different kind of like case, you know. I have also done it with a beautiful pregnant woman, someone who was actually, you know, vegan as well. So she joined and we managed it really beautifully. She was enjoying the process. And then, of course, we also adjusted the whole process with her things and like how, you know, she was doing the thing. So all of these things are, you know, possible. So it's basically whoever joins the program can join the program, and then you can also, you know, ask me questions, and we can actually modify it according to where you are, what your condition is. Many times also people come with like, you know, I'm lactose free or I'm gluten free or whatever the case is. So, and then we adjust the program according to where you are. So one of the things people also ask is, you know, how is it like, do you like, you know, weigh your food, and is it very like regimented kind of like a program? And it's not. It's one of the programs which I have really enjoyed, that, you know, I didn't need to weigh or scale, you know, put the food on the scale. That was really liberating, because prior to this, I was in a program where I had to, you know, weigh my food every mealtime. And that was just, you know, I had this, you know, resistance coming up to the surface right away. So so that was really interesting. And even though there are like no like, you know, limitations that way, I felt very free and I never felt hungry. So I always knew like what I should eat to really fill, you know, my belly. And also because your body is starting to detoxify out of all these chemicals and toxins from years of like probably also over consuming them, then your body starts to also be able to integrate and, you know, also digest all the good stuff and all the good nutrients you are starting to get in within this program, you know. So many women who join, they may actually also experience difficulty to let go of their weight, and they really struggle. Usually women from the ages like 40 plus like 70, somewhere there, that range. And that's also because our bodies are made actually to carry babies. And now that age from 40 to 70, we have like also all kinds of other things popping up, you know. So I believe that there's so much we can do with our intentions as well. But here as well, you know, WILDFIT can really help you to boost your, you know, hormones and boost all of the things your body actually needs, you know. And one of the things is we are learning seasonal eating, and people ask, what is that? You know, this is how our ancient ancestors, you know, ate. They lived like nomads. They were going from one place to another. They seasonally, one season they had lots of food. Then during winter, they maybe had none or very little. Maybe they dried some fruits and stuff, you know, berries. And then spring, they had lots of green stuff coming. You know, hunting was more abundant. And then summer and autumn was like, you know, was more blossoming, more like, you know, different fruits and veggies were, you know, veggies probably not that time that much, but, you know, stuff which was like more abundant that time. So, so that's how, you know, our bodies in a, you know, kind of like a ancient way, this is like the program we are kind of like coming here with. And we can actually reset and reawaken that program to work for us. Most of the people nowadays, they are actually functioning from a total like sugar burning mode, meaning they always have some artificial sugar in their system, which actually, you know, activates your pancreas activates insulin. So it's over, you know, worked all the time. So imagine if you would never have a break or a moment to sleep or rest and so on, how would you feel like? How would you look like? So that will give you an idea, you know, how those things are. So this is why WILDFIT is such an amazing health investment program. Once you do it, you have so many tools, you know, till the end of your life. And I would really like to actually share to you guys this beautiful, amazing email I just got during the last days. Let's see if I can find it here. With a little feedback from one of my clients who actually was one of the first ones in my English one who finished the program. And it was just so simple and so amazing how she put it, like, and it just warms my heart to know that, wow, this hard work we did with her, you know, really paid off and worked off. Because first time she connected with me, she was like, okay, I would like to really get rid of that extra weight. And then I didn't hear from her. She's like, yeah, I already worked on it. I kind of got it going. And then finally she, you know, decided to join WILDFIT and did. And then that's where she got. So she says, hope you are well. Yes, WILDFIT is still a big part of my lifestyle. I learned a lot about food, addictions, and being disciplined. I joined the program because I just wasn't getting results on my own. I could only go so far, and then I would binge and fall back into old habits and poor eating patterns. Having a coach and a group during this transformation process was really key. I didn't feel alone in the process, and the group helped me stay accountable. I started at 120 pounds. My goal was 110. I did reach my goal, but I typically hover around 111, 12 pounds. I feel healthy and have more confidence. Thank you. What a beautiful feedback. And I'm also about to start to also edit all this video feedback all my clients have done. This summer was very difficult technically for me. I lost one of my tech support people, and then also my tech stuff kind of collapsed. So I have to take time to really get it all going. So that's coming. So you can also see her testimonial in a video version as well. So now, anyone who is here who would like to share their story about WILDFIT, or if you have any comments or questions, you can raise your hand. If you can't talk right now, you can actually just type it in the chat so I can read it out loud. Now is the moment. And let's see if we have something popping up here. Yeah, and also if you don't know how this all the setup is, so if you choose the group format, so how this goes is that you basically the first 2 weeks we have 3 calls, 3 Zoom calls, coaching calls, usually Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then from weeks 3 till 12, I think, or 11, we have 2 calls. If we have 5 or more participants, if we have less than 5, we may have that time only 1 call per week. We also have Facebook group. Usually I do it only when we get to like 5 people. I will see in case we are less, what else, maybe we just do Facebook Messenger, then we'll see like how we do it. So, and also within this time, you will get like regular videos from Eric, and now I also have done my own. So you have 2 platforms where you get like information, and then during our group coaching calls, you can ask questions and then also share your challenges or share also your wins. So that's very like exciting as well. In the very end part, we have some really amazing boosters happening as well. So usually these are quite surprising for people, the way it happens and so on. And it's really enjoyable to see people coming out on the other end and really looking great, fitting into those dream jeans or the dresses, and you know, having more energy, no headaches anymore, beautiful clear skin, less wrinkles, you know, more of everything you didn't have before. And then you also have the feeling of wellness. And once you get the feeling of wellness, then you will never go back to that bad feeling, whatever you had before. It is, you know, something you have a potential to do consistently. If and how and what, that's all up to you. And I am here to guide you and support you. And if WILDFIT is not the right time right now, you can always, you know, contact me and say like, hey, right now is not the time, but I would really like to start in January. Can I already sign up? Yes, you can. You can already, you know, sign up and have a little, you know, deposit waiting there for you. Also, if you would like to just come and test it, if the group is going, so you can join for just a little minimal fee for 2 weeks, test it out. If you don't want to join for more, totally okay. And then you just go away with those tools, which you already will get from the first 2 weeks. These are major. So I really recommend that as well, whatever is possible. If WILDFIT isn't a case for you at all, do you know someone who has issues? Like today, I'm testing out the new beautiful gym, and I saw how one person was recommended how to start with some, you know, food stuff and so on. And I was almost like crying inside. I mean, I'm not against supplement shakes and so on, but many of the times what happens with them is that you actually create dependency. And then also still it's pretty chemically like put together, even though they say that, yeah, it's like all kind of like no artificial, no added sugar, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Then it's not the real food. So your body needs real food. And once you get the experience of real food, you understand how little you actually want to eat or need to eat, and how overeating we have been for centuries, actually. And that all started with the Industrial Revolution. You know, before that, we were much more natural and much more in connection with nature as well, and cooperating with nature. So we have a long way to go to get back there or reset that relationship as well, you know. And so, yeah, if, okay, you don't need the WILDFIT, but you would like to really work with yourself on a deeper scale, I'm starting also again my relationship transformation process program, which basically is about the inner family coaching, inner child, inner woman, inner man. And that takes 3 months. It's a very intense program, but after this, many things will also change. Of course, firstly, with your own relationship with yourself and yourselves inside, and then from that also, of course, everything outside of you. So it's a very powerful program. We had already several clients trying it out this summer and spring when I changed the format, and it has proven it's working. So if you need that right now, I only have 1-on-1. So still keep the introductory price for a little longer. And then certainly from New Year, it will go up in price. So thank you for watching, and thank you for your presence. And let me know if you have some more questions, and if there is any other way I can serve you. Also this September month, I actually also offer something I call a breakthrough session. It's a 1-hour session, and we can go into what you are struggling with, and then lay the path ahead. So some of the steps you can take, and then maybe you will discover that, wow, I would need your other program, Crystal, with inner saboteurs or self, setting boundaries, or, I have many different options. Or we can just sit down and customize one for you, do topic by topic for 3 months, which I would recommend is the maximum minimum, 6 months, 9 months, or 12 months. If you really want really deep-rooted foundation, I would recommend to start with WILDFIT, do that for 3 months, and then do the relationship program 3 months. So with that 6 months, you will start to really rebuild, detoxify your body, mind, and spirit in a very beautiful way. I'm here for your service. Let me know if it's any way I can do and help you. And let's meet. Aloha, and have a healthy time. Bye.